Galactic Standard Date. Year 11356. Day 95. Sol Standard Date. 4th of the 7th, 3267. Thanatos watched the ship of the small one cross through the rift. He couldn't move to help the poor thing, though. He couldn't yet fly through space with the powers of the Veil. All he could do was watch, and hope that Lord Basilisk would somehow protect him.
Lord Basilisk, protect the small and hateful one. His soul demands vengeance and death. Please, grant me this one wish.
Just before the ship impacted the Veil, he noticed a small figure standing in his path. Thanatos' mouth gaped open in disbelief, and he clutched his chest. He choked back a sob.
Truly a god worthy of my worship, answering the calls of one so unworthy as myself.
With that, Thanatos turned his gaze inward, observing all the deep gashes left behind by the priests. He noticed that a thick, pale green substance had welled up in the gashes, but thankfully had not drained out of him. He focused his mind on Romanus and created a mind bridge.
Romanus, I require healing. I seem to be bleeding, somehow. After that, I need your help to move through space.
Romanus choked a bit as he heard that Thanatos was bleeding.
Bleeding? How? What are you even bleeding?
Thanatos just chuckled and looked back towards the rift.
I have no clue what I am bleeding. It's green. That's about all I've got. Anyways, our Lord is here and I think he's doing something special. I can feel the energies of both the Lord and Lady gathering together.
Romanus' eyes bulged.
They are both using their power? What are they fighting, and where? They are not fighting. They are saving a lost soul who just crashed in the Veil. I requested his safety, and now they are striving to ensure it.
Romanus stared straight ahead like a deer in the headlights.
You can't just save somebody who crashed into the unshielded Veil. Wait, it can't be. A cat is going to be the second Veil touch that Basilisk has created, but you said that both Basilisk and Amaranth were using their power. Oh my fuck. This one will blow the first Archprimer out of the water in terms of power. By Basilisk's holy fire, this is huge.
Thanatos raised a quizzical eyebrow towards the rift where Basilisk was.
Neat.
Sylvan breathed deep. He could feel the powers flowing through his body. If he focused hard enough on them, he could even see the energies. A pale green power and a hateful black. It was a stunning contrast of colours, and it had a beauty that he had never thought he'd witness. He let the energies flow from his core out onto his arms. The energies snaked out across his uniform, black and green fires twisting down his arms until they coalesced in his fists. He pushed them further and concentrated the fire on his claws. The focus energies becoming black and green blades that were 7 inches long. He smiled at the beautiful weapons, imagining them as they ripped and tore through Azarian flesh. Then he had a thought. Can I form these Veil blades over the blades that formed across my arms? Can I form a blade anywhere? The lady's instructions were only on the basics, so this must be a test for me. I must go forth and slay the Lord and Lady's enemies. I must grow my strength. I must get my vengeance. With each sentence, Sylvan's words seemed to gain more religious fervour. Sylvan stared up at Basilisk and Amaranth. I wish to go forth into my world and prove myself to you. Please help where you are needed. I am not alone in my battle here either. Another servant of your lordship has already annihilated the enemy Azarians in space. He is the big one.
Basilisk turned and looked down at Sylvan. Thanatos already killed them? Even though Mel was here? Shit. Guess I got to think of a reward for the big guy. That definitely falls under the achievements category. Well, if they're here, then you should be alright. I'm going to hunt down Mel. If I can't find any of his traces, then I'll go back to Rizeri space. I only have a few more Rizeri worlds to save, then I'm going to the rest of their alliance. The day is almost over, so I've got to hurry. Good luck, Sylvan.
Sylvan bowed deeply to Basilisk before extending the Veil energies to his legs and leaping out of the rift hard enough to crack the Veil-hardened stone. Basilisk sent his own energies into the rift and closed it so that he could return this space to Veil time, so as not to waste any more lives. Every second was another million lives in his mind. Leonidas readied his 300-strong fleet and engaged the warp drives. As space warped and twisted, he turned back to an unseen camera and slammed his spear down.
Spartans! Advance!
The fleet passed the event horizon of the warp and appeared in the middle of true carnage. Azarian bodies surrounded the fleet. Tens of thousands of corpses. There was even a string of Azarian warlords that looked like somebody had used them as a whip. Leonidas was absolutely floored.
What in the name of Basilisk happened here? Who killed an Azarian battle group this large? There's a massive fleet of non-human origin that the Azarians slaughtered, so who slaughtered them in turn?
Leonidas started looking at the tactical radar and noticed a planet-sized anomaly that wasn't supposed to be there according to reports. He turned on the exterior cameras and had them focus on the anomaly. Leonidas dropped his spear.
By Basilis's great steel balls! What in Hades is that? There's a fucking planet-sized person! With wings! It's fucking bleeding! It's alive! What the? It just fucking waved at me!
The rest of the crew members aboard Leonidas' fleet were just as awestruck as he was. Thanatos was taken aback as the fleet walked in. The ships all looked like spears of varying lengths bearing human insignia. He recognized the insignia from one of Romanus' history lessons. He focused on his connection to Romanus and waved to the fleet.
Romanus, the Spartans are here.
Romanus pinched the bridge of his nose.
Why am I not even surprised? Maybe the Vikings or the Celts will show up next. Let's all just have a party.
Romanus sighed.
Thanks for letting me know. I'm going to contact them. We needed somebody else to handle the ground game anyways. Not like we will have an easy time using our powers amidst a non-touched populace. Their presence is fortunate.
Romanus cut the connection to Thanatos and tried to focus on the fleet. Eventually, he found the mind of one Leonidas and connected the bridge.
Leonidas, this is Romanus. We are inside of the planetary guardian Thanatos. We request that you handle the ground combat on Purity. Those villains are in need of your assistance.
Leonidas stumbled as he reached down for his spear when he heard a voice ring out that was not one of his men's voices.
Romanus, planetary guardian Thanatos, that's the planet man. What is going on? What faction do you belong to?
Romanus just sighed.
Not important. I'm leaving the planet to you. The only thing we have to do over there is collect Thanatos' sword, which thankfully just hit the moon. Goodbye, he said,
as he cut the connection. Romanus looked towards the 30 high priests.
I'll heal him. You're not welcome flying him over to the moon that his sword is stuck in.
He was met with silent nods as they all went to work. Suddenly, Romans spent a heavy concentration of power heading towards them at an insane speed. He quickly moved a mind bridge to Thanatos.
Hey, what's flying towards us?
Thanatos smiled and replied.
The small one who has been graced by God. Can you finally feel it? It's beautiful. They gave the small one such strength.
Pale green tears welled up in his eyes as Sylvan flew towards him. Romanus blinked in surprise.
The Apostle? Already? They finished us a task so quickly and created a being this powerful?
Romanus flew up and out of Thanatos to meet with the new Apostle.